Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time for greatness. Sometimes greatness is thrust upon us and sometimes not. There was the slightest hiccup with the launch for a select few group of people. Some people didn't have that hiccup. One of them being multi-god talent, the great Nulra. The other, suffering from a lack of Chinese, decides to go in with the Odin. Is Chinese busted? Is Chinese broken? Or are the vanilla gods able to keep up? Maybe China is too weak. Maybe they're not good enough. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Well, next time's now, and we're going to be finding out in this very game. From what I've seen so far, from what the from what China has to offer, I do see a lot of advantages, to say the very least, against something like Norse. Now, I don't actually know if... I'm going to start remembering which god has got which at some point here, but I'm not sure if Shenong has got how to or not. The god with the flying myth unit. But this unit is the Chonchi, affectionately named the Chonky Boy. But can we have a Chinese cast of this game? No, you can't have a Chinese cast of this game. I'm not that talented. I wish I was one day. But nonetheless, wait, let me have a quick look. Is there a there is a Chongshi. There is a Chonky Boy. Chonky Boy is sitting right here. So he can go for that, and he can start flying around the main base of the Norse player, and there's not a whole lot that they can do to defend against this. They can get watchtowers, but they're going to be having a very difficult time defending against that unit because their Herser cannot shoot up. He might have to just rush out a pretty quick heroic age in order to make that happen. That defense to get out some Godi or something like that. So I guess we'll have to wait and see which way Nulra is going to take this. Oh, but he is just choosing to go for Chi-Yao. Chi-Yu? I looked this one up and I can't remember it. Damn it. That's okay. We're going to day by day. You can't rush it. It's a process. As the Pioneers are going to be coming out and all the other good stuff. Mr. M. Flame says, I haven't been able to access China even with a premium. It still says buy. Restart Steam and then relaunch. Restart Steam is your first order of business. Restart Steam. If that doesn't work, then we'll see. Now we do have the Yatsu coming through. Yatsu coming through. This is a really, really strong early game myth unit to get some good raids in, as Nulra is going to be looking to put some heavy pressure on early game to Rapl. Rapl taking a bit of a later advance time as units are coming through. Against China, I'm not sure if this late advance time is going to be great or not great. I no idea. But the amount of pressure you can put on with the Chinese early with some very, very quick pioneers is going to be immense, to say the very least. Now, you could also just throw up some walls and be completely fine. But the Herser are out, charging forward, trying to get a little bit of damage done, but good control here from Nulra as the Herser is almost down. Nice garrison micro here. As the Yatsu is coming through, the Valkyrie pulling away, does manage to keep that one alive. Nice play there. The Herser going to get sniped down. Does manage to keep it alive. The Valkyrie going to be able to heal that one back up. Meanwhile, on the top side here, walls coming up all over the place as Rapl is very, very well aware of what could potentially be happening here. I mean, he can just leave this gold mine. There's no... Oh! The Skylanders are up. Watchtowers is in. The Skylanders are pretty strong because they're kind of just tanking all of the arrow fire in a way. But it looks like The early game pressure here from Nulra has faded. Now, he is Shenong, so he will be getting extra myth units as we go along. I'm not sure exactly when he's going to get that myth unit out. There's no way to see it, but I don't think he's had one just yet. There he goes. And he will be getting himself the Chionshi here. So he's already got the super strong flying myth unit to get in to the Rapl's base. But Rapl right now has already got himself watchtowers, so there's probably not going to be a huge amount of damage he can do there, as the Valkyrie is now ready to start getting a little bit of damage done into the main base here of Nulra, as Nulra going to be dropping up a couple of houses over on this spot. And we could see a potential forest fire to get dropped down as the silos just going to start popping up all over the place. Oh, good little ghost building there from Nulra, just trying to slow down any sort of raids, any sort of damage. Just blocking everything up. There is a Yatsu in position here. What is the vision looking like? The Ravens! So much vision now. Living the dream. As the Yatsu getting chased back. Valkyrie in very hot pursuit right now, as a couple of those pioneers on the way to get some damage done. But into the main base here for Rapl. Where to next? An armory to come down? I can imagine that Rapl is probably a little bit lost with what to do here. Like, you don't really know what China can do, kind of. You have a bit of a vague idea from looking at the tech tree, but it's a little bit tricky to know exactly what's going to be happening. There's all of those sky lanterns now up in the air, just checking things out. You can split these up as well. If you see exactly how much he sees on this spot, you can just spread them all out. There's a big amount of time for them to be out on the map, just giving him so much information. One other way you can do this is, instead of casting them all at once, you can just turn them onto auto cast, and they're actually going to go out on their own direction and spread out for yourself, which isn't a terrible idea either. The Chionshi is also another good scout as well. You don't have to necessarily attack with it. You can if you want, but we are seeing now Njord as I've got a choice here for the Rapl, and for Nulra, he is going to be going through Rushao. So Raid's coming. He does manage to snipe a little villager over here as one Valkyrie and two raiding cavalry, enough to cause some serious problems here. It's the Pioneers in hot pursuit, but they are not going to be fast enough for the time being. And while over onto this side, the Yatsu does come in. We'll dive in to try and get a little bit of damage there, but it's mostly a bit of a distraction for the time being. As a couple of farms plus Prosperous Seeds getting dropped down. Prosperous Seeds is going to be making 2 farms, make all the units on top of them invisible, and any villagers gathering for them are going to be gathering significantly faster. Another thing to note is that with Shenong, you are getting free plow, free irrigation, instant as well. Free plow, free irrigation, and free flood control when you get to those respective ages. As we've got now Rapl saying, all right, it's time to grab myself up Vikings. A very strong technology now, giving that 1 divine damage plus a little bit of a gold bounty whenever they're getting damage dealt. So huge value there. And he's going to be getting Thundering Hooves. So a lot of those raiding cavalry to come here. Now, Age of Mythology is asking, if I put Spy onto one of these villages, will I see it? I imagine you will see the villager, but you won't see the villager. Like, you'll see the spy on top of the villager, but you won't see the villager. It'll be invisible, right? I imagine that's what happens. That's what makes sense, right? As a forest fire does end up getting dropped down, I'm going to be opening up this position ever so slightly. And Rapl is just going to be bailing out on this spot for the time being. I should note that Both of these players did have a little bit of early access on these civilizations. So this is not the first time that Nulra has played China at all. So this is, you're looking at someone who's had, I don't know how many hours, I wouldn't say crazy amount, but this is not his first rodeo. Yeah, and to take a little look-see at how the economy actually works for the Chinese, if you're pumping out the Kuaofus, you're going to be slowly trickling in front of your opponent because those Kuaofus are worth an extra population. However, and they only take 30 seconds to build. However, the villagers, the peasants, these bad boys, they ain't very good. They're basically like Egyptian villagers, but maybe a bit worse. Egyptian villagers, but a bit worse. Not sure. So it's not a telling stat. I don't really know how exactly to rank the economy based on population. But yeah, Kuaofus are really, really good. And we can take a look at the economy graph after the game as well and see exactly what's happening. As those raiding cavalry with Vikings, he does have them 1 divine damage. It's not actually a crazy amount. When you put this onto a sort of human unit, like a melee unit, as opposed to a ranged unit, these units have got already high base stats. So an extra 1 divine damage here is kind of like just getting an extra 10% bonus damage. So, I mean, a little bit more than that, but it's still good. As the raiding cavalry do manage to come in, they spot a villager. We'll be able to snipe that one down. Getting tiny little bits of gold for these raids as well is always super nice. Another villager getting cleaned up there as another prosperous seeds to come through. Nulra trying to finish up all the walls here as well. As those villagers are just going to be pulling back, diving into the tower. Nulra going to be charging in to take down the Rapl's longhouse over here. There's all these bad boys ready to start charging forward. Walking woods to get dropped down as there's really not that many units here left in the main base. This is going to be even more damage. There's no heroes here. Great usage of walking woods as Nulra needs to run all the way back home. He does have his Fey Beasts here. If he wants to drop that down onto something like some villagers potentially over here, he can get a huge amount of damage done with those. But all the villagers need to retreat back into the town center as Nulra's army. This is the weakness of the army composition that he's gone for with those Dao Swordsmen. 3.8 speed with the Myth unit. Oh, there's not really anything else that's super slow here, but just the Dao Swordsman is slowing his army down so much. As the Pioneers in to get some good damage done. They will be able to clean up those trees. And it looks like what Rapl wanted to get done here, he's gotten done. He's now equalized on villager population, which probably means he's in front on economy or income for now. And he can start thinking about getting a town center. He's got himself some Huskarl here. There's no real thrown axemen coming in just yet. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get them, as we do see that these halberdier should be really effective against raiding cavalry, but these raiding cavalry are just going to continue to revisit after revisit. But a great defense here as the halberdier, they do have a really cool effect where it greatly snares enemy units. You can't escape from them. Once they get into the clutches of the enemy unit, they are going to be able to take those down. Rapl pulling back into his main base, thinking about, well, how do I deal with those? And he does say, okay, well, infantry units, they get countered by throwing axemen, so I better build some of those. Makes sense. As some villagers, peasants going to come over here, looking to grab this hunt, it looks like. He doesn't need to, just keep building farms, I guess. So raiding cavalry revisiting onto this position. Good reaction there from Nulra, but the units need to get over here and start getting the damage done. Halberdier coming through, but Rapl sees them and he says, all right, get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. The big fat army here for Nulra, still looking for good damage to be done, but the gold just about to expire. Villagers already out onto this gold mine, and it's already walled in. Is the temple going to be getting sniped down? And now Rapl has to say, well, do I take the fight? He's a little bit behind. All these relics getting dropped down. We didn't look at them before. They are. Oh, we did have this one. But that's not that big of a deal here, I don't think. There's Rapl still getting good amounts of damage. You've got those trees still over here coming back onto the villagers to take those out. Rapl still retreating back. Doesn't want to take the fight just yet. As we do see the Jiang Tsuya. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. Steals the mountain giant away for a little bit. And the army here, the VP is getting so much damage done. Rapl needs to bail. He loses all of his units on that fight there. That Fey Beast turning the fight in a great way. As Rapl has to pull back into his main base. The reigning cavalry have mostly been dealt with. And now the advantage is laying firmly in the hands of Nulra. As another longhouse to come down. Still needs the answers to those halberdiers here. But he also needs the answers to those heavy Chukonu, which he does have with potential Huskal. In fact, it kind of looks like the Huskals should win this entire army here. This is halberdiers, Chukonu. While they do have bonus damage versus the Huskal, it's not going to be enough to win that fight. As we see another cheeky Walking Woods to come over here. As the villagers will get sent packing and the heroes need to sort of abandon the army and get back over there and deal with those Walking Woods. That's a lot of favor down the drain there for Rapl here. So no mountain giants, no Jotuns. As the Walking Woods will start trading away. And Rapl has snuck this gold mine nicely over here. And he's up onto the top gold mine here as well. As the raiding cavalry moving back into the main base of Nulra. Huge damage to come through with this sort of a raid. No defenses here. A Quaofu going down is going to be gigantic as well. It's not going to get any of them, but look at the damage. There's so many dead villagers. Can he get the Quaofu as well? Looks like he's not quite able to. And now we see the... I forgot how to say it. Zhu? No, that can't be right. I can't remember how to say it. YouTube? No, it's not coming back to me. We'll have to refresh. As the army coming back in to take this fight over here. Those Huskal looking to clean up a whole bunch of stuff. There is a town center here though for Nulra as the Taue. No, that's not right. No, I can't remember what it's called. Can't click on it either. Too slow. So the army here for Nulra is fading. And there's also the goatee there to clean this big fat bird up. The Chinese Phoenix, yeah, that's right. And Rapl does manage to find the win here against Nulra on his prized possession, Odin. Great play, great usage of those raiding cavalry, great raids, great playing around everything that Nulra was throwing at him. Good play from Nulra as well. He found himself a big advantage in this game, just not quite able to convert on it, it looked like. With winning this fight, he probably could have pulled back, maybe grabbed the town center, or maybe put a ballet down onto a second gold mine and maybe play a little bit more passively, trying to get to the next stage or something like that. But a very, very well played game by Rapl nonetheless. If you guys enjoyed this one, please continue to follow on the Twitch, from the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.